Okay, well, welcome to the Breathwork Series. This is the 3-part live series. Plus, you got, if you signed up for the series, you will have received the 7 pre-recorded breathwork classes too. And just so you know, what a devotion and labor of love this is for me. It takes me about 12 hours to put together a recorded breathwork session, because it's the music and the putting the music together with the right rhythms and the right, all of that. And then making that one track, cutting out the parts that don't work and filling in the parts so that it's all, so that it all flows, and then doing the voiceover. And I am not that, as you just witnessed, I'm not that techie. So for me, doing it all by myself, it is a feat, but it is a labor of love. And this Ascension Breathwork is really, it's like my gift to those who choose to do it, because it is a powerful change agent. It lifts your vibration. It moves trauma out of your physical body, out of your energetic body. It opens you up to receive more light. And that's what Ascension is all about. Ascension is not about leaving the planet. It's not about, getting high and getting out of your body and not being present. It's really about making the physical body and the emotional, energetic bodies a comfortable place to live, so that we can hold more light. And then as we do that, as we expand into our brighter, lighter being, we get to share that energy with everybody that we come into contact with. We become a walking ascension agent. And that is what's so exciting for me, because it's the gift that you give yourself first in having the practice, and then that gift keeps giving to everyone else and to the planet itself. You could say to the universe, because who you're being in your life is your contribution to this entire reality. And that's how special this breathwork is. It's really just the fastest technique that I have found to move stuck energy. And so I really appreciate you all being here and investing your time and your money and your effort into this. There are, let's see, I have 4 things written down that will make you successful in this. And this actually is for all of life. And if any of you saw my Tuesday tips for transformation this morning, I talked about accountability. So that is one of the things, having an accountability partner. But the 4 things are commitment, accountability, community, and practice. And so number 1, being committed to what you're doing. And if you're here, I know that you are committed to raising your frequency. You're probably committed to your spiritual path. You're committed to making a difference in yourself and in the world. Making that difference in yourself translates to making a difference in the world. So I really acknowledge you for being committed to this. And if you're not committed yet, what is it going to take for you to get committed? Think about that. And then your homework will be to make a commitment declaration to this work and to yourself, whatever that means, for you to have the expansion that you're looking for, that you showed up for. That doesn't mean it's easy. That's where we get into practice. Practice is what will make this all work for you. We don't get on a bike the first time or learn to stay up the first time and expect to be excellent at it. We're just trying not to fall down the first time. So the first time you do this breath work, the second time, the third time, you're practicing, you're learning, you're evolving yourself. And as you do it more and more, it's not that you're ever going to be perfect. That's really not the point, but it will become more fluid, more flowing. It will become more natural. And just like anything, with a practice, it gets easier. And so I encourage you to make this a practice. And one of the ways that you can do that is you'll be receiving a recording of this. You've probably already got the other recordings. So to choose one and do it for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month, if you want to stay that long on each one, and then go to the next one and practice that. And I would say have a routine, whether that's 3 times a week, 5 times a week, if you're super ambitious, 7 times a week, but you decide ahead of time. Don't wait for your life to choose that for you, because if you wait for life to say, oh, hey, I'm going to show up with a free hour, why don't you do breath work now? It just doesn't work like that. You'll fill that hour in with something else. But if it's in your schedule and you're planning for it and you're committed to it, then you will do it. And it's great first thing in the morning. It's also great for midday. You know, a lot of people have that midday slump where we start feeling nappy, tired. So that's a great time to do it too, because as you probably know, this will give you energy. This will give you a boost of energy and get everything feeling good. And then maybe you can have a great second half of your day if you're somebody who normally has that midday slump. And so, accountability. It's great to have an accountability partner. If there is someone in your life that you can reach out to and become accountability partners, if you don't have one already, I highly recommend that. In the video I sent out this morning, I shared that I did some research on this. You are up to between 80 and 95% more likely to accomplish your goals if you have an accountability partner that you check in with regularly. And again, that might be just a minute a day back and forth on Voxer or Messenger, but it might be a weekly call where you go deeper. You get to choose. But you know, and if you know each other, if there are people in here, if there's someone in here you're seeing, you're like, hey, I want to be your accountability partner, reach out to each other in the chat. You know, go ahead and connect so that you can actually, you know, help each other, assist each other, and be accountable. And then finally, community. I find that whatever it is I'm doing, it's just more fun with others. And just knowing that there's a community of people to do this with. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing these classes online. So you're not doing it just at home alone. We're doing these here together. And, you know, in the future, it's if you have, now obviously I can't go everywhere and teach classes, but if you love breath work, if you love whatever it is, yoga, or, you know, if you want to go to a regular class, find a place. Community is so important. Find a place in your area where you can go and you can be with people, because, and especially over the last year and a half, many of us have been really limited on our being with others. So Zoom is great. Zoom is wonderful. And it's still not a replacement for actually being with others. So those 4 things: commitment, accountability, community, and practice will have you succeed. And when you have a community around you, acknowledging you, cheering you on, you're so much more likely to reach your goals. So today I want to start with, I am not a medical doctor and nothing I say can or should be used as medical advice. If you have any reason why you would not why you should not do breath work, then please check in with your doctor. Don't expect me to know that for you. Be responsible for yourself. And that said, you're going to need a place to lie down. So make sure you have a platform, a pad, a yoga mat, somewhere where you can lie down for the second half of this. It's also really good to have water. And I always recommend taking a small drink of water before you begin, because that gives your body it's just like this little acknowledgement that everything's okay. we're safe, and everything that I'm doing is intentional. We do not drink water or eat food when we're in fight or flight, when we're being chased by a tiger or something else. We don't stop to relax and take a drink of water. So it's just signaling the body, this is a time of going within. This is a time of relaxation. And then, of course, don't drink too much water, or at least if you have already, use the restroom before we begin, because you don't want to be interrupted. Okay. So I'm going to do a really quick recap of what the breaths are. And if you're here, I'm going to just assume that you've already done this breath work at least once. So I'll do a recap of it. I'm not going to go deeply into each one. And then from there, we'll go into the pre-recorded breath work. And I'm actually going to be on camera with you this time. So you can, you should be really with your eyes closed doing it yourself. But if you ever need to peek, I'm like, what's she doing, particularly on the Kundalini breath, then that's why I want you to be able to see the way that I'm doing it. And then, you can always adapt that. If something doesn't work for you, you can always adapt and make it your own, especially on the breath holds. If you're really challenged, or if it's ever painful to hold your breath, do take a second breath. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not about being in pain. It's about teaching your body to do this work. And sometimes there is the pushing through in the 3-part breath, but if it's ever painful, just stop and take a break and then come back when you're ready. Okay, so the 5 different breaths that we will be doing are, first of all, I call it the heart breath. And this is where we're actually breathing into the belly, and the belly's expanding on the inhale and contracting on the exhale, but we're breathing through the heart center. And this is really just about becoming present to your heart center and heart alignment. We're creating heart-brain coherence in this work. And so you're letting each of your breaths be informed with the sacred energy of the heart. And that is where you hold your intention. So whenever you go into a breathwork session, it's good to have an intention in mind ahead of time. Maybe it's simply to be present, or have the best breath work you've ever had, or to release or let go of some old baggage or trauma that you've been holding on to. Whatever it is, it could be a goal, it could be anything you want, but have an intention. And so when you tune into the heart and you're taking those heart breaths, you're informing your intention with the light of the heart, and that's adding energy, and it's letting your body know, yes, this is what I'm up to, and this is what I care about, and this is what I'm manifesting in my life. And then from there, we go into the 3-part breath. And remember, that's 2 quick in breaths through the mouth and 1 out through the nose. And the belly is expanding on the inhale, the belly's contracting on the exhale. So it's and your belly should be visibly moving. Your shoulders are not visibly moving. Your shoulders are staying, because we're not breathing up here. It's not like this, it's this. And so it's 2 in, it's like you're sucking in through a straw, and that belly is expanding on the inhale and contracting on the exhale. And it at first, people are really in their head about it, but if you let go of thinking and just let the body do it, it becomes natural and easy. And again, that comes with practice. From there, we will hold the inhale. So I will instruct you to release that breath, take a deep exhale, and then take a deep inhale and hold that. And I will count you down, or I will count for you for the minute, and then you'll release. If you need to take a second breath, it's okay. And then we will hold the exhale. Now, my understanding of the best way to hold an exhale is not to actually exhale 100% of the air. It makes it more difficult. So if you just exhale to a natural point of exhalation, you don't have to get all the air out. In fact, that's not advice. So just exhale to where it feels comfortable, and then hold from there. Again, You can take a second breath if you need to. And then we'll go into the 3-part breath again, and then we'll do the breath holds again. And each of these 3-part breaths are about 8-minute segments, so 16 minutes. It's a little longer than the one we did on the last class. And then finally, there will be the Kundalini breath. And that one is where you take a deep inhale to the base of the spine, and then you hold and squeeze those muscles at the base of the spine. And you're sitting up for this. So I have you sit up before the final 2 breath holds. So you're already sitting up for the Kundalini breath. And then you're holding and squeezing the muscles at the base of the spine. And then you're flowing that Kundalini energy up the spine, all the way up to the crown of the head, and then out. And you can imagine a torus field of energy around your body, cycling through your body, out the top of your crown, and then around your body and in through the base of the spine. So it's creating this torus field, and that's making you magnetically attractive to all that you are intending to manifest in your life. It's putting your energy out there in a powerful way. So we are consciously doing this with the Kundalini breath. And then at that point, there are a couple minutes left after the Kundalini breath. You may lie down in Shavasana if you choose to. You may stay seated if you choose to. And then after that, at the very end, we will go into question and answer. So if you have any questions, save them for the end, and I will be here after the breath work to answer you.
Lying down, making yourself comfortable. Get present, breathing and relaxing with every breath. On the inhale, you're inhaling relaxation, and on the exhale, releasing any tension you may be holding in your body. Letting go of any thoughts that you have of other things that have happened today. Just being here now to experience this breath in this moment. Breathing into the heart, feeling the golden light of the heart expanding out around your chest and out around the body, embracing you in golden light, enveloping you. The golden light is holding you, protecting you, cherishing you. Getting present to your intention for this session. And now, breathing the heart breath. Each breath, you're breathing deeply into the belly, informed by the golden light of the heart. The belly is expanding on the inhale, and contracting on the exhale. With each breath, you're becoming more present, more relaxed, more clear and focused. Allowing the belly to expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale, releasing any other thoughts or tensions of the day, being fully here, breathing the divine light, preparing your body for this ascension, this expansion, this upgrade of divine golden awareness. connecting into high heart and high mind, into crystalline, creative, inspiring energy, knowing that you are safe and connected to the divine, and that every breath brings you closer to the divine light. I am. Becoming more and more aware of the I am presence within you. I am divine light. I am divine consciousness. I am worthy of ascension and expansion. I am grateful for this moment. This moment of pure awareness of being. Appreciating all that you are here and now. Now, as we begin to prepare for the 3-part breath, remember that the belly will be expanding on the inhale and contracting on the exhale. The shoulders don't move, they stay in place. And with each breath, you will be opening to more light. And remember, the 3-part breath is 2 inhales through the mouth and 1 exhale through the nose. So we're getting ready. Feels so good to do this breath. Okay, here we go. In, out, in, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In, out, in, out. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. You're cycling that breath. Think of breathing in air, sucking it in like a straw, and then a quick breath out. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. In, out. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Yes, keep breathing. You're doing great. Letting that breath breathe you. Letting yourself feel the breath. Cycling the breath. Expanding in the breath. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding, belly is contracting. Yes, you've got this. In and out. Good. Like sucking it in through a straw. Feeling the belly expand and contract. Shoulders are not moving. Letting the breath breathe you. You're being breathed by the divine. Let it feel good. Let yourself open. Let your heart open in this breath. And let's have some fun. In and out. In and out. Little faster here. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. Dancing with the breath. It's reggae. In and out. In and out. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Opening that heart. Opening. Whatever you're feeling, feel it. And then let it go. Let it move you. Letting the breath breathe you. Surrendering to the breath. In and out. Keep going. In and out. Good. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Cycling that breath. Finding your rhythm. Letting yourself expand. Letting the breath breathe you. Yes. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Keep breathing. In and out. Keep going. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding, belly is contracting. You are expanding in your light, in your ability to hold and receive light. In and out, in and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Feel yourself cracking open. It's happening. You are waking up the divine in you. Feel it. In and out. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Let yourself enjoy it. Yes, keep breathing. Feeling that breath. Feeling whatever it is that's showing up for you. Letting it move through you. Moving energy. Expanding your ability to hold more light. Opening from the inside out. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Yes, you've got this. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding, belly is contracting. You're doing great. Keep breathing. Feeling it. surrendering it. Good. Okay. And now we're moving in to the breath holds. And remember, this is a 1-minute hold. We're not starting yet. But if you need to come back and take a second breath, that's okay. Don't judge yourself. Okay, so this first breath hold will be holding the inhale breath. So go ahead and prepare by taking a deep exhale breath. And then deeply inhale and hold. And I will tell you when our minute is up, letting yourself receive all of that beautiful oxygen into your cells. Receiving the golden light of the divine, ascending your ability to hold more and more light, to hold more and more love, to hold more of your divine presence. It's such a beautiful thing. 10 more seconds, we're almost there. Okay, go ahead and release that breath, breathing normally. And now we're going to prepare to hold the exhale breath. And again, remember, if you need to take a second breath, that's okay. Okay, so take a deep breath in, and now exhale it just to the most comfortable point, and hold that exhale. Feeling whatever you're feeling. Letting yourself be fully present in whatever your experience may be. No right or wrong, just being with it. Yeah, beautiful. Keep holding. You're doing great. Just less than 10 seconds to go. Okay, go ahead and release. And just breathe normally now. You're doing so great. Letting yourself feel. Letting yourself be in this expansion, preparing for the next round of 3-part breath. This is going to be fun. Are you ready? Here we go. Three-part breath. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. In, out. In, out. Yes. Breathing in light. Breathing in the crystalline structure of your upgrade. You are upgrading with every breath, turning on and activating the crystalline blueprint within you. Breathing it in, out, in, out, in through the mouth, out through the nose, like sucking in energy through a straw. Keep breathing. Yes, feeling it. You're doing great. In, out. In, out. Yes. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Cycling that breath. It's like a big golden figure 8 cycling through you, letting the breath breathe you. Surrender. Surrender to the breath. Let the breath breathe you. You are expanding, transforming, becoming a magnetic manifester for all of your desires. In, out. Keep breathing. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. You're doing great. Keep going. Yes. Feel what you're feeling. Are you tingling? Maybe things are feeling kind of funny. It's all okay. Whatever you're feeling, sometimes it's tightening, sometimes it's tingling, sometimes it's expansion. Give yourself permission to feel and be. Ascension guides are all around you, supporting you, assisting you. Okay, we're gonna have a little more fun. Keep breathing. In, out. In, out. Yes. In, out. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. Shoulders aren't moving. In, out. Good. Dancing in the breath. Let it be joyful. Let it be fun. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Play with it. In, out. In, out. Yes, keep breathing. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding, belly is contracting. You are expanding, opening to more divine light. Yes. In, out. Keep going. Dancing with the divine. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Staying present and keep breathing. Keep breathing. Music is changing, and so are you. Feeling your heart expand. Feel how beautiful this breath is. in, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In, out. Keep breathing. In, out. In, out. Feel whatever you're feeling. It's all perfect. You're doing great. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In, out. Cycling that breath. Yes, beautiful. Returning your breath to normal for a moment, and now it's time to sit up. It's time to sit up, so get yourself up to a seated position. Stabilizing in your seated position. And now we're going to do the breath hold, the inhale breath hold for 1 minute. So breathe in and take a deep exhale first, and then inhale deeply and hold that inhale breath. 1 minute. Allowing your body time to absorb all of that beautiful divine light oxygen that you've just inspired yourself with. Letting yourself absorb in this hold. It's easy to hold your breath. You're doing great. Just feeling that expansion, feeling the light within you. We're almost there. Almost. Okay, go ahead and let that breath out. Returning the breath to normal for a moment here. Okay, and now we're going to prepare to hold the exhale breath. So go ahead and start by taking a deep inhale. And then exhale to the comfortable point and hold that exhale. Beautiful light inside of you, expanding out around you. Anchoring your being into your body in this hold. More seconds. Okay, go ahead and release that exhale breath now. Just return your breath to normal for a moment here. The next breath that we'll be doing is the Kundalini breath. We're not starting yet. And just as a reminder, this is where you breathe deeply into the base of the spine. And then you'll hold and you'll squeeze those muscles at the base of the spine while flowing the Kundalini energy up the spine all the way to the crown of the head, and then releasing it out around the body, imagining a torus field out around the body, where it will then enter back into the base of the spine, and we'll start again. Okay, are you ready to begin the Kundalini breath with me? This is such a beautiful breath. So begin by taking a deep inhale, inhaling deeply to the base of the spine, and hold and squeeze those muscles at the base of the spine, flowing the breath up the spine, up the energy centers, hitting the first center, the second center, the third center, which is the solar plexus, on up to the heart, the throat, all the way up to the pineal center, and then at the top, the crown, and releasing that breath, the crown, coming back around, seeing that torus field of energy around your body, entering back into the base of the spine. And let's do it again. Take a deep breath into the base of the spine, holding and squeezing those muscles at the base of the spine, flowing that Kundalini up the spine, up through each energy center, through the heart, and on up into the brain, and up to the crown, and then out the top, releasing that energy in a fountain, a torus field around your body, coming back in at the base of the spine, creating that magnetic, attractive energy around you. Let's do it again. Okay, deep inhale into the base of the spine, holding and squeezing those muscles at the base of the spine. Flow that breath up the spine, up through every energy center, bringing it up and up and up, all the way to the top of the head, the crown, and now releasing that energy up and out the crown of the head, and seeing it come back around in the torus field. This is enhancing your divine light, enhancing your aura, the energy around your body. Let's do it one more time. Okay, deep inhale into the base of the spine. Hold and squeeze the muscles at the base of the spine and flow that energy up, flowing it up through the first center, up through the second center, up and up into the heart center, up into the pineal center, the third eye, all the way up to the top of the head, and now out the crown, releasing that breath in the torus field of light, a golden fountain of light around your body. Feel that light around you, holding you, embracing you. You are transforming in this breath and in this light. And now this is your time of Shavasana. If you'd like to lay down, you can do that now. Resting here, feel into your heart, your beautiful heart. Feel the gratitude there. Gratitude to yourself, your body, for doing this amazing work today. And just feel the expansion that you've received Perhaps you let go of some old, unneeded, stored up stuff. Be grateful for all that you've released and for all that you've expanded into in letting go of that old baggage, the old traumas, the unneeded shadow work, the unneeded shadows. You're allowing yourself to make room to hold more of your divine presence, more of the ascended frequencies, more of your intuition, your empathy. And feel that expansion into generosity, into service, expansion into the truth of who you truly are. The I am presence. I am divine. I am one with the light of the Creator. I am ascending my being. I am focused. I am energetic. I am inspired. I am passionate in all I do. I am that I am, and I am grateful for you. I love you. I cherish you. Namaste.
Okay, guys, come on back. Can you hear me okay?
Can.
Yay. Have a drink of water if if you need to, and get yourself back and centered. And now I will open up for feedback, for questions, for sharing of your experience. If you felt something or experienced something you'd like to share, I would love to hear it. I'm going to go to gallery here so I can see everybody. Okay, Mariana, I just saw you.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't, I don't know what happened to the chat, the raise hand button. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, so for me, in the 3-part breath, it just seems like when in between the ends, the 3 ends and the 1 out, I get this like stuckness in my throat, and it's maybe my throat chakra is clearing or something, but it was there, and I was just being with it, but it was a little bit hard to breathe a little bit, but I guess it's just that my throat chakra is clearing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I have had that as well. It's sometimes, it's a throat chakra clearing, and it can be stuck energy. It can be allergens, pollen,
Yeah,
but
right.
it's a clearing. So yeah, just power through in those cases. And if you need to adjust it a little bit to make it work, that's fine. But yeah, usually, how does it feel now?
Yeah, awesome. I feel awesome. I just wondered, as we practice this, on however many times a week we do it, is it, as we learn it and it becomes more like routine, do we move right in from one part into the other, or do we wait and we just breathe in between times? Like you're prompting us because we're learning, but when we learn it, are we going to just kind of move right into like the breath holds and stuff without just waiting?
You could do either way. You can continue to listen and do it guided, or you could choose to do it on your own. The only thing that's difficult, I do know some of my clients that practice it without the guidance, and the timing of the minute is the thing that you have. It's, if your eyes are closed, you're not looking at a clock. You don't want to stop and set an alarm. So if you have like a clock in front of you and you can kind of gauge that, you can also just go by what you feel. If you don't want to do the guided. So you can kind of use your own judgment. It's not an exact science. So, in each time you might be holding a little longer. What you do not want to do though, is don't hold your breath until you pass out.
Okay.
I say that from experience. I do that, or I have done that lots of times in the past, in other people's breath work, in particular. So, just be aware of that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Waxela, do you mind if I comment on the throat thing a little bit?
Sure, go ahead. Heidi has been practicing quite a while, so yeah, go ahead.
So Mariana and Waxela both, I think that might be something to do with the amrit, the golden nectar being released in your brain. Waxela, do you know about that? Yeah. You and I have actually had some conversations about it, but you know more about it than I do. So feel free. I just don't want to step on your toes and just, make sure that you had a chance to respond. So Mariana, that might be something. So it's also known as ambrosia or the Christ liquid. And it's also like, if you guys, if you've ever studied alchemy, which this is alchemy, and this is what the Kundalini breath is, your root chakra is the lead. So if you've ever heard that turning lead into gold, what you're doing is you're bringing the lead from the root chakra up into your pineal gland, and that's producing amrit. It's called spelled A-M-R-I-T, amrit. And that is like, that's the juice of, and they say the juice of the exercise, and like that's kind of
cool.
In it, it's really cool. So you're experiencing alchemy.
Isn't that?
It's funny, Heidi. Thank you for bringing that up. It didn't even occur to me that that could actually be what that is. And so, it can be a clearing. Absolutely. I do know in various, like in Dr. Joe Dispenza workshops, there will be and we do some of the Kundalini holds in there, but, there will be right before a really expansive experience, I will taste it. There's a taste to it. So it's a really unusual taste. I don't even know how to describe it, but also I've also had that not from any kind of breath work, but just from a spiritual expansion experience independently of breath work. Yeah. And it can be like, your throat chakra opening, and then most people experience it as a sweet taste. And that's what they call it, the nectar. And then there's another like deeper meaning, if you study like Kundalini Tantra, like where it gets produced. And then if you kind of allow that go back down to your stomach, it's like, it turns into poison, and it gets very involved in all of that. But yeah, it's really, most people experience it as a sweet thing. But you can also do what's called kachari. And that's a Kundalini like kriya, and you take your tongue and you press it up into your nasal cavity, and you press, and that's what the whole point of that is, to release the amrit and the golden nectar. So thank you very much. Awesome.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Mariana, too. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Would someone else like to share anything from your experience or have any questions? Stacy?
Yeah. So I was doing it a while back pretty consistently, and then I stopped. And when I was doing it a while back, like I just have like I cry when I can't even like get through the 2 inhales very long. So I don't know if that's just like I got a lot to pull out. And it's hard for me to keep doing it. So I just like let the emotion be there. I think my question really is like, I just need to let the emotion be there, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. When I first started doing breath work, which was a long, long time ago, I would cry a lot too. And I think it's an emotional release. It still happens sometimes for me. It's not good or bad. It's just, if something's up and it needs to be cleared, it's a gateway. It's a door open for that. So it's an opportunity to clear your emotional field, your emotional energy. So that's definitely, it's not a bad thing at all. It's great because it's an opportunity to let things out. And sometimes you know what it's connected to, and sometimes you don't know what it's connected to, and that's fine. The breath is really a powerful tool for emotional release. So it's doing exactly what it's designed to do. Thank you. All right, Bridget.
That was amazing. I feel like I had a full body orgasm. I feel I'm still like vibrating, and I'm like crying tears of joy. I just felt so happy. And yeah, I don't know. It's like I've done this before, but I don't know. Today it was just different. So I don't know if it's because of the collective, we're all doing it together or what, but I feel like I'm in a different body right now.
Wow. I love that. Yeah, I love those orgasmic experiences, which, by the way, are totally possible through breath work. It's happened to me many times, and it's always really amazing when you get an experience like that. Wonderful. That just shows you're doing something right. So keep doing it.
Thank you very much.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. See, breathwork can be a lot of fun. There's also, like, I feel like there's a surrender point, in the breath where it, in the beginning you can be in your head thinking about, am I doing it right? Am I keeping up? And then when you sort of surrender and just let that go and drop into it, and that's where I say, let the breath breathe you, and you just kind of become the activity of the breath, then that's when I feel like a big opening happens. Okay, any other questions or comments?
I have a question.
Sure, Jocelyn.
Yeah, so I also found myself crying. By the way, I'll have whatever Bree's having. I'm gonna get to that point. I had tears of sadness wanting my mother in the breathing. I just really got guttural in my throat. And it caught me by surprise. I was doing the breathing and I was feeling lightheaded. I had to stop with and then the breathing, because somewhere the airway was, because I had to stop. And then I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I had to sit up. But now that I'm talking and I blew my nose and cried, and I feel so much better. I feel lighter. Is that also part of just the Kundalini energy pushing up some of the clogs and
Yeah.
in the way?
Yeah, that's it. Clearing is what this is all about. Emotional clearing, trauma clearing. Our bodies hold on to emotional energy. Our bodies store emotional energy. So it's that opportunity for really opening the door for the body to let that go. And even though, we think, this is why, I definitely think that counseling and, the talk therapy has its place, but it's not enough. Like just talking it out or sharing about your emotional traumas, it's not enough, because the body has a stronghold on some of those things that maybe we've talked about or shared and think we've let it go. But ultimately, it's the body's got to open the door to release that stored energy. It can be stored in organs, it can be stored in tissues, it can be stored in glands, and ultimately, if we do not let those things out, they become harmful. And that's what eventually can lead to cancer in the body or other dis-ease. It's just stored energy that densifies, starts out as being a pattern, and then that pattern becomes denser and it becomes matter. And then that matter is, if we don't find a way to let that energy out, it gets hard, it gets densified, and then it becomes really problematic. So I feel like this work, breath work, not just my breath work, this breath work, but all breath work, is an opportunity to release or let go of clear stuck emotions, clear traumatic energies, clear the field, clear the body, clear the physical. And we can't always think that out. Sometimes we just have to do something. And so this is a great avenue for that.
So is the dizziness just the dynamics of it churning and getting less dense into?
Did you say the dizziness?
Feeling dizzy, lightheaded.
That can be, that can be from the actual breath. I mean, it can be, it's hard to say. Again, nothing I say is medical advice. So, it could just be your body's reaction to it. Sometimes in the breath work, I get dizzy. Like I've fallen off my chair before at events, at other people's events. So, just kind of monitor that. The only thing I would be really concerned about with dizziness is that if you're sitting up, you want to make sure if you're going to fall over, you don't want to hit your head or injure yourself. But, you can always, like you did, take a break, regroup, and then come back. That's okay too.
Thank you.
Shayla, when she was asking that, is it Jocelyn was asking the first question, I was thinking about your book and how you explain that so well. Jocelyn, have you read Shayla's book?
Not yet.
The Love You Crave. It is in it, you guys. It's not a quick read, but it's not a long novel or anything either, but it's so full of this kind of information. And I know Shayla is so sweet and humble, and she probably wouldn't be like, oh, read my book. But I would recommend reading her book because it really does explain all that in there and how your body just holds on to that stuff. You guys, I did that all last summer, so I totally know like what you're going through too. And my body just kept releasing. I'm like, why the hell am I crying? I'm crying again and again, but it is so important. And now I'm kind of the part where, it's more just surrender, and I'm just like super enjoying it. So you get over this, like, I don't know, plateau, I guess I would say. But reading the book gives you a lot of more of Shayla's background, and then also like the RHOS. Do you want to explain that, Shayla, real quick?
Well, Jocelyn, you know this, but the Recoding the Human Operating System, ROSE, I like to call it. It's like my picture back there is a big painted rose by Martinez, double rose. So it's releasing the thoughts from the body. And then there are also meditations you can do along with that, which you've done, I think, already. So yeah, recoding, releasing the thoughts from the body, and then recoding, and the breath work alongside that, it really just opens the floodgates for all of that stuff to come out. And Heidi, thank you so much. You're just like a walking endorsement. I need to have you come with me everywhere we go.
Sounds great. I'm in, Shayla.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, well, we're in the same boat. Like, I don't promote myself, and other people say, nice things. So it's nice to be able to do that for you, of course.
I appreciate it. All right. Was that helpful, Jocelyn?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Could I ask a question? As a yoga teacher, when we start talking about Kundalini, everyone gets very sort of careful. I just wondered whether you have any sort of practice that you recommend prior to embarking on something like the Kundalini breath, because from my experience was this time I've done this practice of yours before and I've cried and I felt amazing, and this time I kept flipping out of it and falling asleep or not falling asleep, but your voice resonated, that kept coming back. And that was really interesting this time, that was much more, I was much more present to that. So that as an aside, I just wondered about So I've got off a train, and it's 6 o'clock at night, and I'm a little bit rushed, so it's probably not the best time to be doing breath work. That having said, the yin yang balance and just the balance within me is probably not the best. It's not too bad, but
yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So a couple different things could be going on. Number one, you could just be distracted, so setting your sacred space is so very important before each breathwork session. And normally I talk a little bit more about that. I didn't say much about it today. Like, I have my little candle lit here. It's actually a pretend candle. It's on the floor and my cats are running around, and I was going to be lying on the floor. But, normally I would, in a safe way, light a candle, set my space, set my intention, tune in, and then make sure that I'm in a place where I won't be distracted, where people aren't going to be calling me, my phone's off, so that you're in a place where you can really surrender. And that's ultimately what it's great to get to that surrender point in the breath. But if you're distracted or worried about, what if my child comes home in the middle of this or whatever it is, that can take you out. So number one, set your sacred space, put boundaries around your sacred space so that you're protected and people aren't coming and going or distracting you, turning off your devices, making sure that you really can feel comfortable to sink in and go deep. And aside from that, it's just, like basic things. Be well rested, be if possible, drink some water, don't eat a big meal before the breath work, preferably. That doesn't tend to help. I think that's kind of it. I don't think it needs to get any more complicated than that. Another thing, so I said there are two things. Another thing that it could be, if you're having, if you're feeling distracted in the breath, or you can't quite get there, or you keep falling asleep, that's always a telltale sign. If it's not just tiredness, which it could be in your case, there might be something up for you that's ready to come out. There might be a big emotional charge that's ready to clear, and it might be a part of you that's afraid to let it go, and which could sort of result subconsciously in you being too tired to stay awake, in you not having the space to yourself, and like creating distractions. Someone knocks on the door, because we're sourcing all of this, right? So it could be that there's something big that's just, sometimes it takes a lot of times to do the breath work to have the body ready to let something go that's really big. So I would do it again, and next time just do it in a way that you're totally alone, protected, it's totally quiet, you're well rested, and just see what comes up for you, and just keep going. But there's nothing wrong, it's all perfect. It's just possible that you're ready for a great big clearing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and that usually doesn't happen without significant amount of work around it. So another thing that is really complementary to this breath work is Kundalini yoga. And so I'll endorse Heidi now. Heidi's a Kundalini yoga practitioner. And, it's really amazing to have the movement, the breath work, you're moving the breath, but she's got the physical, the yoga along with it too. And so I highly recommend that as a practice along with breath work. And we do retreats together. We have one coming up in next February of 2022 in Florida at Pyramids. It's going to be amazing. And we'll have both the Kundalini yoga and the Ascension Breathwork there. I do want to, before we get off, I do want to mention that there is a teacher training that will be it'll be immediately after this series is done. So I think we have 2 more Tuesdays, and then I think the teacher training is the 2 Wednesdays after that. It's just $197 more. And we're gonna, in that, it's not that we're gonna be practicing the breath together. It's more kind of dissecting the breath in a more, I don't really like to say scientific, but a more physical way of like, how do we do that hold, and what exactly is going on here, and how do I share this with people in a way that that I can feel confident in being a practitioner. So if anybody's interested in that, that is available. I'm grateful for all of you. I'm so thankful that you're all doing the breath work, and I'd love to hear, you know, anything, if anything comes up for you or you have anything to share that comes up later, feel free to message me and let me know. And I'm going to go ahead and end there. So thanks you all. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You're
Waxela.
welcome. Thank
Beautiful.
you. Bye-bye. Love you all. See you next time.